Started here. Out of respect for your time, we know that you came here because you wanted to learn a little something about what's going on with uh, one of the greatest inventions of our time. um, we woke up one day and found out that the food didn't have any nutritional value. Someone who made improvements to our food, while they were improving it, they inadvertently took out the nutrition. So we're fortunate that Dr. Prasad has been kind enough to make sure that we regain access to the food that's missing from our food. It's called Micro Daily. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. But before we do, last week we were privileged to hear firsthand from one of our younger members of the Engage family, as Jeff likes to call it. Virginia Gilboa is a young age of 91, and she shared her story. So we captured it and decided that, it would be nice to just relate Virginia's story. So Jeff, we're happy to take a look and see this presentation.
Absolutely. Let me you've already got me spotlighted. Okay. I mean, it's easy to come to your calls. I don't have to do all of this stuff behind the scenes. It's like, this is awesome already. So yes, let's hear from Miss Virginia. What an incredible story. And do you want if you want the whole thing to play, Jonathan, or
yeah.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Yeah. I think it's
and Virginia Gilboa. We're looking forward to hearing your story if you're going to share that.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I'm just so glad I'm able to give my story. I was sponsored by my sister, Evelyn Burns. She's 84. I'm 91. Mm-hmm. And the reason I decided to look at this business is because she sent me a videotape, and I wasn't gonna bother with it, but something said, well, look at it, because it was talking about a doctor on there. And me and her are very we're very self-conscious about our health. We love to hear about health. And so I said, well, I'm gonna look at it. Let me see what this doctor got to say. I looked at the tape, and I tell you, before I got through the tape, a lady came on there with her testimony. And she was talking about two of the issues that I had, health issues that I had. And I couldn't imagine, I couldn't hardly wait to get off that, finish looking at the tape. But anyway, I finished the next day, that same day, no, it was the same day. My sister, she signed up, and I signed up behind her as what you call it?
An affiliate.
An affiliate. I signed up as an affiliate. She had a few things wrong with her, but I have two specific things, health issues, and that's congestive heart failure, mm-hmm, and rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay.
And this is what got me. And she said she was taking this product. It was in a green bottle, original green bottle, original EMF.
Uh-huh.
And she also said she was taking the brain boost. And so I was able to go to every meeting for the 2 days with her. And I was just surprised at myself. So we got we got back home, and on the 22nd of October. Now I joined Engage Global on the 26th of September. They had a birthday party for my niece, who is the daughter of a sister of ours. We come from a family of children of 12, and I'm the 9th child. But my sister's daughter had a birthday party, and so many people came from all over. We have a large family. They came from all over the country. All her sisters and brothers, except the 2 that's deceased, came. And I went to the party. When I was at the party, everybody started dancing. And for some reason, I threw that stick aside and I went to dancing with them. And my nieces and nephews and family members, me being the matron of the family, they could not get over it. And I couldn't get over it myself. I threw that stick aside. I didn't even take the walker with me. And I could not get over it myself. Well, I had a ball that night. To God be the glory. I just thank God for giving Dr. Prasad the knowledge to invent this product. I'm telling you, I'm in here now, almost about to shout, just talking about it. And then a few days ago, I haven't cooked a meal, not even breakfast. I haven't cooked a meal in, I would say, about before 2015. And 2019, they put a ICD in my body, which means it's a pacemaker and a defibrillator combined.
Mhm.
And I still was having a problem. So I knew it was this product. The reason I wasn't having a problem breathing and was able to walk all those blocks, I said it had got to be this product. And so I went in the kitchen, and my right hand is a little crooked up from the arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. Well, I wasn't even able to cut up an apple or say peel an apple before I took this product. But do you know, I cut up a whole cabbage
Oh, wow.
with this cooked up hand,
Oh, wow.
and cooked some cornbread and rice and whatever else I wanted. And I hadn't cooked or tried to cut up nothing. I wasn't able to cut up nothing, not even the apple, before I took this product. And I just want people, I try to tell it now everywhere I see somebody, everybody come in the house, I'm talking about. But I just want whoever is under the sound of my voice, if you just try this product. It may not do what it did, do for you what it did for me, but I tell you, if it don't hurt you, it certainly won't harm you. So please try it. And I want to say one more thing. The Bible said, all those that Jesus touched was healed. But when she touched him, she was made whole. And I want to say, as long as I live, I intend to touch micro daily. And I believe if I touch this micro daily, as long as I live, because I told my girlfriend the other day, I was going to live to be 100. I said, because 99 and a half won't do. And I believe if I continue to touch micro daily, I'm going to be made whole. God bless everybody. Oh, and then another thing, I just want to say this too. I'm forgetting about some of the things to say. I had knots on my knees, you know, and on each side of my outer kneecap, and that was from the arthritis. And not only that, when it would swell up, I would start hurting me when I walk. It was like bone on bone, and oh, it was so painful. But do you know, I looked down a couple of days ago, and do you know, I don't even see them knots on my leg, and my knees is looking like they looked when I was 25 years old or 20 years old. I just can't believe it. Try this product, and God will bless you like he blessed me through Dr. Prasad. God bless you all.
We need to hear no more.
Powerful, powerful.
That's an amazing, absolutely amazing story there.
Yeah.
Ms. Gilbo related last week.
Hmm.
One part that we missed there was when she said that she would be out of breath just going from her bed to the bathroom. And after she took the product, she got up out the bed and just went and brushed her teeth and came back and said, wait a minute, what happened? And what, the very next week, she walked 4 blocks on the train and went to the convention. So there was an immediate response. Please understand, folks, that testimonials are purely anecdotal. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. And the FDA has not evaluated those comments. We don't know the clinical circumstances surrounding Virginia's story, her situation, but she believes that adding the food that's missing from her food back in her diet made all the difference in the world for her. And you've heard stories like that before too, Jeff, with individuals who have seen dramatic turnaround with heart issues.
We really have. It's been utterly amazing, and you know, it doesn't take somebody as young as Virginia to have these experiences to know that, you know, we are in the right place at the right time with the right product. And I was excited about the reference that she made to our Creator and the importance of keeping things in alignment with those. So yes, we refer to each other as micro daily family members, and we've got each other's backs, and that's what I enjoy about this. This is so much more than just an opportunity from a financial perspective. You know, I always get a kick out of going back and listening to Greg's testimony, hearing it when he says, "I'm not a product guy. You know, I don't do products," but this one. This one has changed him and so many other people.
Yeah, you get to a point where I think Dave Nemelka said it very nicely. An opportunity is one thing, but if you have the facts are great, but somewhere in there, if you're the kind of person that has a heart for, and you're touched when people's lives change, when you see people respond like that, then you're in the right business.
Sure.
You know, you're in the right business. And even if you're not in the right business, even if you're not doing this as a business, you know, how can you not tell somebody, you know, about something that could make a difference in their life? It's almost impossible not to share the information with other folks. So The question now is, what exactly, are we talking about? What's all the fuss about? What is going on here? What is it that Virginia got a hold of? What did her sister tell her about that she started, adding into her life, to her body, that made such a big difference? It's just going to tell you real briefly. If you want to find it, if someone invited you here tonight, this is the brochure that you want to get a copy of. So just ask them about the Engage Global Science brochure. You want to get yourself a copy of this because this will give you the whole story in a nutshell. Personally, I think that you get the whole story pretty much from the cover here. The cover tells, I think, everything. The first two words there, daily nutrition. Now, I probably would have phrased it a little bit different. I would have said, I wouldn't have been so concise because my thought is the food that's missing from my food, finally. So that's what I believe that is. But that's what we're talking about, daily nutrition. And talking with a client today, and her question was, well, once I feel better, how long do I have to keep taking this? And my question to her was, when do you think they're going to put the food back in our food? So we got to the state that we're in because someone improved food. They made it better. Now, mind you, there may have been some very good intentions with that, because if she's standing in a wheat field, which I don't think that's really wheat, but if she is, then the idea is to make an acre of land that would ordinarily yield an acre of wheat, produce 10 acres worth of wheat. That was like the plan, because as the population was growing, you need to be able to make more food with less space, economize. So they started splicing and making some adjustments, and the gluten came into the world. And eventually, it's taking a lot of work here to keep these weeds under control. So you know what? Let's figure out a way to get rid of the weeds without destroying the crop. So they re-engineered that, so you can spray herbicides on the field and have no effect on the crop. Oh, okay. But don't worry about the herbicide. It doesn't get absorbed in the plant, and it certainly doesn't go inside your body. And somebody convinced the decision makers that was a true statement. And it's not a true statement, because when that herbicide goes into the soil, the plant's roots are down there. The roots, that's where they get the nutrition from. The roots don't know the difference between herbicide, poison, and toxins and nutrients. It just absorbs whatever's in the ground. And it happens to go into the plant. So that's the reason why right now there's I think the studies show that there's 80% of all oats and grains contain weed killer right now. So if you're buying General Mills, Quaker Oats, whatever it is you're buying, 80% of all oats and grains contain weed killer. Google it. Don't take my word for it. Google it. But what we're talking about here is daily nutrition to live your best life. Now, to live your best life, you also have to do something else. It needs to be something. The bottom half of the page 2 tells a story as well, scientifically validated. And you notice it says the world's most scientifically validated micronutrient supplements, and that's so true. So, but just briefly, I'll show you a little bit about this. Originally, this product was formulated for the United States military. That's what the original intent was. And this is what it looked like. It looked just like this little package right here. So it would fit in the side of the pockets of the military fatigues of these soldiers. And that was the way that it was originally designed. And it was the government making a request of Dr. Prasad. Now, any vitamin company, anyone who already was experienced in making vitamins could have answered the call, but no one did. No major vitamin company answered the call to provide this micronutrient for the military, but Dr. Prasad did. So it went through every single level of safety tests, animal studies, and human clinical trials, and 9 months of testing with the U.S. Military Internal Review Board. 9 months of safety testing, which, by the way, Dr. Prasad had to prove that there would be no contraindications with any known pharmaceutical drugs. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So no contraindications. So when a doctor says, I don't want you taking that because it may interfere with my medicine, may interfere with my treatment, you need to ask yourself a question. Is he saying that with good intentions? And is he saying that with full knowledge? It's likely that a doctor who says that is not saying it with bad intentions, but it's also likely that he's not saying it with full knowledge. Because if he was aware of this, no doctor would make that statement, because it will not contraindicate with any pharmaceutical drugs. It's been proven. So that became approved for human consumption, and millions of dollars were invested to make this product available to us. And this is the brilliant mind behind it. So all of his accolades are right here, but we're talking about someone who was the professor of the University of Colorado School of Medicine for 30 years. So he's written books on cancer, diabetes, all kinds of things. Just give you a snapshot of that in just a couple of minutes. But his books, 32 of them, by the way, 32 books, and 250 peer review articles, science papers that this man has written. He's no ordinary scientist. This is not just some product formulator. This is not just a man who went to college and decided that, okay, I'm going to go out and start formulating some product. No, his life was nutrition and medicine and teaching. He's a scholar and a brilliant scientist, the world's first radiation biology PhD. He knows a little something about radiation, and that is a big deal. That's a big deal. And then these two gentlemen here came together. It was David Nemelka. Now, as brilliant as Dr. Prasad is, he's not a businessman, and he wasn't walking around with deep pockets. But Dave Nemelka, not a scientist, but he's a businessman. He had deep pockets. So those two came together because the product became available. And Dave Nemelka bought the formula and created the company, Engage Global. These two partnered up. We weren't supposed to have this product. It was originally designed for the military, but through a series of circumstances, it became available to the public. I remember asking Dave Nemelka when I first met him, I said, so what's going to happen when the government finds out that this amazing formula is circulating around in the general population? What's going to happen? He said, by the time they really come to grips with it, it's going to be too late, because we will have massive amounts of people taking the product, and the demand alone will stop it from being able to be shut down. So that's what his thinking has been on it. And I tend to believe him. So, but right now, folks, we're at the sub-basement level. So we need to tell more people about this. We have 33 folks that are on this call tonight. And that's wonderful to have 33, but we really should have 333 on every single one of these calls. And it should be 333 new people every single time we have meetings like this. So we should be inviting every person that we possibly can to come to these meetings and hear about this product, because we're talking about the potential for being able to change their lives. Their lives will change. And there's the ingredients here on the left side of the screen. One of my favorites still is this one right here, because there's a new clinical study that shows that N-acetylcysteine binds to the spike protein. And it doesn't matter where the spike protein came from, whether it came from SARS-CoV-2 or came from something else, some other source. The clinical study says that N-acetylcysteine binds to the spike protein, and you want the spike protein. By the way, there's another clinical study that showed that this S1 spike protein has actually been found circulating in the bloodstream. When I mentioned that to Dr. Prasad on one of our conferences, he says, no, it's not in the bloodstream. It has no purpose there. I said, Dr. Prasad, there's a recent clinical study They found it in the bloodstream. He said, it has no purpose there. So wrap your mind around that. The S1 spike protein has no purpose in being in the blood. So if you just sit around and say, okay, fine, I'm okay with it floating toward my heart, and I'm okay with it floating toward my lungs, and I'm okay with it floating toward my liver and toward my brain, I'm okay with that. If you're good with that, be satisfied. But if you're not quite so comfortable with that, here's your pillow. Here's your comforter right there. The comforter is that N-acetylcysteine is in this product and it binds to spike protein. So if they're floating around someplace, you got a little magnet. You got something that wants to grab them and lock it up straight to jail, into the lymphatic system, out the back, out the front. That's what this is doing. And Dr. Prasad put that here. Now, that's not the only thing in here. The formula itself is very special, very well formulated. It's powerful. It's powerful. Same conversation I was having with the client earlier today. And I went through the list of ingredients. She says, oh yeah, I'm taking that. I'm taking that. I'm taking that. I'm taking that. I said, how's it working for you? Not so good. I said, so something is not quite right. And I'm here to tell you it's because the quality and the formulation is not up to par. So the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. Now's the time. Now's the time to make an adjustment, take advantage of the fact that Dr. Prasad put this formula together, and he did so with the CQF standard, combination, quantity, and form. So it is the absolute best combination, the best formula that exists today. Dr. Prasad put the same formula in a children's gummy. And we just had a nice discussion with Dr. Prasad about this past weekend. Now, he wasn't talking so much about the gummy as much as I was, because, that's a big deal to me that this gummy exists. Dr. Prasad was talking about RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, which right now is making hospitals all over the country, pediatric hospitals, reach 90% occupancy. So children everywhere that normally just deal with a little small virus, it's a common thing. Maybe parents are aware of that it's just a very common thing and they usually get over it. But right now it's putting them on life support, and it's creating some serious problems. And it's highly contagious, highly infectious, and it does affect adults. So, but Dr. Prasad put this in a children's gummy. It's in the gummy. So that's a beautiful thing. And this is the formula that he put in the gummy, the best one, the microdaily EMF. And that's good for us because today's 5G technology is 700 times more powerful than the original cell phone technology. 700 times more powerful. That's more radiation. So radiation is a big deal. Let me show you how important radiation is. These are some of the other products here, but you can read those in the brochure. Just make sure you see the person that invited you, and they'll give you a copy of this brochure. You can read all about the products there. But this thing about radiation, Dr. Prasad was leading up a research study where they took these two rabbits that you see the remnants of here on the screen. Love of my pen. My pen does this for me. Besides, it just does not want to write. I guess it just runs out of gas. Got to give my stylus a brain boost. But these little rabbits went to the Space Center in NASA. It's the only place that they had high enough amounts of radiation to do the test. And they were both zapped with lethal doses of radiation. The only difference between these two is that this rabbit over here was given food, but this one was given food along with the food that's missing from food. This is their lungs. The radiation fried the first one. You probably could have just added a little salt and just eaten it right up. But the second one, no tissue damage. No tissue damage. Dr. Prasad explained that the study that they did, they were able to determine this one right here. Look at that. They were able to determine that within a very short period of time, the body is able to repair DNA damage caused by radiation. And then Here's the evidence. The evidence is right here. So if it happens in a mammal, it can happen in you and me. And before you say to yourself, I don't plan to go to Texas. I don't plan to go to the Space Center. I don't plan to be around that much radiation. I don't like 5G. It's everywhere, folks. We're all being exposed to lethal doses of radiation, legally so. And if you're saying to yourself, but my cell phone is safe, ask yourself why the #1 form of cancer in children has transitioned from leukemia to glioblastoma. Ask yourself the question, why? Could it have something to do with what's the most common babysitter for children these days? I don't know. But the World Health Organization refers to these in the same category as cigarettes, possible carcinogen. The World Health Organization puts cell phones in the same category as cigarettes. So you decide how you want your insides to look, how you want your cells to respond when exposed to those levels of radiation. But the last thing on this page I want you to know about is this one right here. And it's my favorite. This is what got me into a relationship with Engage Global, was when Jeff showed me a picture. At the time, I think he had flip charts. And the flip charts popped up, and I saw on the bottom corner of one of those pages, patent treatment of diabetes. And I said, whoa, just wait, just hold on. Just hold on a second, Jeff, please. And I know your presentation is wonderful, and I don't mean to interrupt you. I did mean to interrupt him, but I don't mean to interrupt you. But please tell me more about that. That's what I need to hear right now. I don't need to hear anything else. Tell me about that. And Jeff packed up 4 packages of Microdaily. It was called MMF at the time, and sent it to 4 of the sickest diabetics I could give them. And every one of them said the same thing in about a week's time. So that was it for me. I was 100% convinced, because mind you now, I had some of the best immune system products in the world at that time. A phenomenal immune system product out of Canada. And diabetes was classified as an autoimmune disease. So no immune system product that I had was really making a significant dent in diabetes itself. It was dealing with the ancillary issues. You know, you could raise glutathione and improve neuropathy. You could raise glutathione and improve vision. You could raise glutathione and improve kidney function, but you couldn't raise glutathione and do anything about improving pancreatic function, not to make it better. A diabetic was always a diabetic, no matter how much you did to their glutathione levels, until something came along where the government was proved. It was proved to them, and they awarded a US patent that includes the words treatment for diabetes. I've never seen anything like that before. Now, we're not claiming, I'm not trying to tell you that Microdaily is a treatment or cure for diabetes. I can't do that. That's against the law. I don't look good in orange. I do not intend to end up in an orange jumpsuit someplace, anywhere. So I'm not telling you that Microdaily is a treatment or cure for diabetes, but I'm just pointing out that MMF, the original formula, was granted a patent that includes the words treatment for diabetes. There it is. You can look it up. There's the patent number right there. I'm going to remember that number. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. But you can take a look at these books. These are some of the books that Dr. Prasad has written. And one of them happens to be on diabetes. It tells you all about how to fight diabetes with vitamins and antioxidants. But he goes on from there. He also talks about Alzheimer's, heart disease, cancer, Parkinson's, PTSD, and brain concussion, radiation. It's just everywhere. You see the topics are all over the place. The best one is the most current one that's out right now. on memory. So you can find that one on Amazon right now. So I highly recommend that you do that. Did we put a link in the chat to the to where you can buy it on Amazon? Probably not.
Yes,
Some-
it's there. Daryl's put Dr. Prasad's book in there.
Daryl's all over it. Thank you, Daryl. So if anyone wants to get that, I highly recommend it. My copy is right here. And I've been collecting Dr. Prasad's books, and I think everyone should have all of their books, all of his books in the library. But I've not been able to find my stolen copy, my borrowed copy, because Dr. Nkuzi was in my house, and I never saw my copy of the cancer book since he left. So I think I'm gonna go visit him at his house and see if I can't triple cross my book somewhere. So, but anyway, I highly recommend that you collect them, because it's a great source of reference, because even if you don't turn in the book and say, here on page this, it says that, the title alone is enough to just blow people away. The title alone will do that. So we want to share another story with you. And remember, folks, the FDA has not evaluated any of these comments. I'm not reading from a script, by the way. So this is all information that's just part of public records and just research. That's all I've been sharing with you. It's research information. No one's told me what to say, but the FDA has not evaluated any of these comments. And I'm not a doctor, so don't do anything I say because I say do it. So we strongly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust. This has been for information and educational purposes only, some entertainment. So if you get a chuckle out of me being a clown, great. That's an extra bonus there. There's no charge for that. But when it comes to testimonials are purely anecdotal. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. Okay, so there we have it. What about dementia? Good question. That was Jeffrey Jones asked about dementia. We'll come back to that in just a couple of minutes, but we do have some interesting stories with individuals who were in the worst stages of dementia, or full-blown Alzheimer's, that indicated that they got some interesting results. But we have another story that we want to share with you before we go down that road. In fact, we may even just show you both of them. So we'll see how it goes. So Jeff, let's jump on this other story that you want to share with us.
Okay, and I was unable to get the recording yet of the prostate issue, so I apologize about that one. But I do have the other one queued up if you want to go with that one.
Let's do it.
All right, so here we are with Jonathan. Once again, I just appreciate the format that you have put together, your platform where people feel comfortable turning their cameras on and being interviewed this way. Just really grateful for your ability to do such good interviews. So this is Michi Morris, and it's one of my favorite.
I love it.
What you're about to hear, folks, is a story that we will share with us. If we can get Michi on the screen with us. Okay, there she is. So you're about to hear a discussion, with Michi that she shared with us a couple of weeks ago. That was quite interesting, quite compelling. She had no idea that we were going to be talking at all about anything having to do with the brain. But Michi, if you would just tell us, first of all, tell us a little bit about your mom's condition and then what you observed as she began to add nutrition to her diet.
Yes, my mother is an Alzheimer's person, and she's been that way for about 10 years. But I've been taking care of her here at home. And each year around about her birthday, around about April, I would see more declining. She was doing pretty good. Some sentences, kind of washing her face. Even now she's sitting over here. She would fold her clothes. I would give her a basket of clothes and she could, fold the clothes or little hand towels up until about the first of this year. Well, around about February, March, everything just kind of stopped. She wasn't doing any of it. And the washing the face,
Sorry about this. Once.
So my computer's not the only one that goes into a spastic.
No,
Look at
sorry. Oh, 1 second. Here we go.
that. It happens.
No, I'm still showing good there. Sorry, Jonathan.
Hmm.
Mm-mm.
So lips are moving, but nothing's coming
Yeah.
out. Huh?
Yeah. You can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, but it's just yeah, something's happened there. I apologize.
Wow, that's very strange. Okay, let's see if we can't recover Michi Morris some other way. Hang on 1 second here, folks. Let's see. Just so you folks know, we never had
Let me try it again here. 1 second.
a time
Okay.
a computer.
No,
use-
there we go.
What you're
Okay.
about to hear
All
from
right. I'll just
is
fast forward to
a
the part.
story that
On yesterday. Well, last night when we were getting ready to go to bed, and I know you said you wanted to know anything she did, even if it's a toothpick. We were getting ready to go to bed, and she loves to try and make up her bed. Well, I wish I would have had my camera. She got in the bed and crawled on all fours to go over to the other side to make her bed. And that blew me away. She has not done that, anything remotely like that in about 5 years. And I'm like, wow. And she crawled back and came on the other side. And of course, I tried to get her to do it again. And of course, she wouldn't. And this morning, when I went to get her up before church, she was already up, sitting on the side of her bed. And she doesn't get up on her own. So she was just sitting on the side of the bed. And I'm like, oh, wow, look at you. And of course, she sat there a while. And then this evening, when I went to get something to eat, and I wrote it down, and I told my husband I wasn't going to share with him until I got online. But when I went to Publix to get something to eat, and I came back, she was sitting on the sofa, and she was laying down. And I said, hi, Ma. And she goes, I'm just laying here. I just washed some things, and I laid over here on the bed. 2 sentences. She has never, ever done that. And I gave her the collagen this morning, and I gave her a brain boost and a micro daily. And she patted the sofa for her bed. She said, I'm just laying here on the bed. I just washed. She couldn't get the whole sentence. I just washed some things. I'm just laying here. And tears on the inside, I could not believe she was able to get those many words out. And I'm like, something is going on here. Something is going on here, because I have not given her anything but that collagen and that brain boost. And that was with 2 days of even skipping it. So something is happening. Something is happening.
it sure sounds like it to us. And
There you go. Sorry about that, Jonathan.
No, that's
It happens.
good. And it's amazing to see that every time, and amazing to see anyone get that kind of response, with dementia. So I think there was Jeffrey Jones that asked the question about that, and that's one of a number of examples. We do have other examples of individuals who have responded that way, or told similar stories, when their spouses or someone in their family was taking micronutrients and they began to turn around. One of my favorite was still a gentleman that I personally know. And to hear his story has been just mind-boggling, because I saw him personally in a demented state. The man he was a tower of a speaker and a teacher. And then all of a sudden he could barely remember his name and just didn't know where he was, and just completely disoriented. And now to transition anywhere close to what he was is just remarkable. And his wife is convinced that the difference between the two is adding micronutrients to his diet. So it's happening, Jeff, and it's happening over and over and over again. A lot of folks have been asking about strokes. So we have a couple of stories on stroke. Jeff's father was one of those that had issues with stroke as well.
I
But,
I do have the short one with Patrick.
Okay.
It was a few years ago, back when we were referring to this, like I presented it to you, as military micronutrient formula, or MMF. But I could share that one quickly, and then I'm gonna have to run here at the top of the hour. But yeah, why don't I share Patrick with everyone? Tell me when you're ready.
Go ahead.
All right, my name is Patrick Wright, and I just took MMF, but let me tell you what happened before I took MMF. By the time I got here, I was like kind of tired, so I didn't have very much energy. I'm saying all this because, my energy level was low. I had a stroke, and it was a hemorrhagic stroke, and it was the one that, that it was what we consider a cash out stroke. I took this medicine, and I'm doing stuff like this hand doesn't work. This whole side of my body is pretty much, what they consider paralyzed. So it doesn't work. And we're talking about it doesn't work and I'm moving everything. That's one thing, but then that's not a big thing. But for me to be able to come over here and grab this and hold it is something that I could not do at all. A couple hours ago. It's not possible for me to do that and then grab and give it back to her. That's something that does not happen. It's not possible in the condition that I'm in. So I'm not sure what else you need to know, but whatever it is that you need to know, the proof is in the pudding, and I'm showing you what the proof is right now. MMF is what it is. It's what it is.
Just correcting a micronutrient deficiency in a matter of it was less than 2 hours. We opened up the capsules, and as I was explaining it, just like that flip chart you said I was going through, we were in the parking lot of Denny's just off of the freeway in Austin, Texas, and he and his dad, came, met us there, and I had to help his dad help Patrick up into our vehicle because he couldn't grab hold of anything. He couldn't use that entire side of his body.
Wow.
So
Wow. And now, so what, did he just have the stroke that day, or how long he had?
a year earlier, he'd been suffering from those kind of conditions. In fact, I wished I would have panned my phone over and caught a picture of his wife, Michelle, because she just when he reached out and grabbed that from her, she just broke into tears because she had been waiting on him hand and foot for the last year.
Wow.
And now he's able to use that and to actually give her hugs, instead of just a one-arm one. Yeah, there was all kinds of tears, and I wished I'd have just kept things going there with my phone. But
Wow. I have a
incredible.
story that I've got to go in and extract it from one of our videos. This personal friend of mine, and within the week, I was able to get to her at the hospital. She went in intensive care, and her whole left side was gone. And they had to walk her right there in the hospital room that she was going to have to learn how to use. So I put all the capsules in little small baggies. I just separated them all out. We were more like brother and sister. So I just went in there I filled pockets. I think I was in the same jacket, by the way. Filled my pockets with these little baggies full of Micro Daily. I think it was the original formula is what I had. And I said, just take 3 of these 3 times a day. And with her right hand, she opened it up and she swallowed 3 right in front of me. And that night I said, do it again before you go to bed tonight. She did it again. And that night, in the middle of the night, she woke up flailing her arms because she was hot. She was just hot all over. And then she says, wait a minute, how am I doing that?
Hmm.
She turned on the light and because mind you, earlier, the day before, she could not move her left arm. Her whole left side was gone. She said, how am I doing that? And she thought she was dreaming when she looked up and her left hand was working again. And she kicked her left foot. And to this day, she's never used that walker.
Wow.
So, but that was within a week. This one here is within a year. That's you can't say that was just you got the treatment in early enough. After 48 hours, 72 hours, they feel like it's pretty well locked in, that you got to have the treatment. So something amazing. Thank you for sharing that story, Jeff.
Absolutely. And I got to run. I apologize, but thank you again for all that you do.
Appreciate everything that you share with us. Thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Got time for a couple of questions. If anyone has any additional questions before we wrap up, this is your opportunity. The one thing that folks have often asked about is, well, how do I get it? What's the cost? How come you never talk about that? Well, we do. We talk about it, but we just don't, make it a big deal because it's easy enough for you to find that out. Just talk to the person who invited you. This is the one that we recommend. And it's only $257. I shared this information with a naturopathic doctor, itemizing each of the things that she needed for her patient. And she said, well, he needs all of those. So how much is it? And when I told her $257, she said, I thought you were going to say $500 or $600. She said, is that it? So she couldn't believe it. So anyway, that's what it costs. So go ahead, Ms. Slaughter, your question, please.
Dr. Prasad's books, are they in the library?
Some of them are. I don't know about here in this country, but a client over in, I think it was Thailand, went looking for Dr. Prasad's books and found them in the library over there. And it was apparently very hard to find, she said, because they were checked out all the time. So she had to hover and waited to get a particular book that she was trying to get because they considered his books to be like research books, like encyclopedia. In that country, everything is available that way. So, but so I don't know if they're available in libraries here. So I'm not sure.
Okay, one last question. Do Michael Davey help with acid reflux?
There are some who feel that it does. It's not designed per se for acid reflux. That's not one of its main purposes. But the probiotic boost has made a big difference for some people with acid reflux. It has made a big difference. There are other things that you can add that help to calm acid reflux. There are some nutritionists who believe that a tablespoon or two of apple cider vinegar with some lemon and water can help to deal with the acid reflux issue, because acid reflux is the opposite of what you think. People think that they need to take Tums and reduce the amount of acidity in their gut to get rid of the problem. But the problem is often because there's not enough acidity. That's where the problem comes in. So a couple of tablespoons of apple cider vinegar and lemon water, fresh lemon water in the morning, first thing in the morning, and usually will take care of it. But that along with the probiotic boost, because folks who start to have that problem have typically been people who've been using antibiotics. And antibiotics just kill all your good bacteria. And that throws off the gut, the balance of your gut biome. Okay?
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Freddie's hand is up.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you to repeat the protocol for taking the microdaily, because a lot of people always ask how much. And I just want to say briefly that I've been taking all of the products, but the microdaily and probiotic. I haven't had acid reflux since I've been taking them. And I used to get it quite often. And I've only been taking them about 2 months. And had she not asked that question, I may not have even realized that I wasn't having that issue anymore. But I did want to ask you about the protocol for it.
Okay. The general rule of thumb that I recommend, based off of my observations in the field, is a healthy person. The normal dose that Dr. Prasad recommends is that a healthy person on the original and the methylated take 2 capsules twice a day. And that's separated by 12 hours. 2 capsules twice a day. The EMF, you have to take 3 capsules to equal the 2. So 1 dose is 3 capsules. There's extra capsules in the bottle. There's 180 capsules. 180 capsules in the bottle of EMF. So it's designed for you to take 3 capsules twice a day. Okay. So original is 2 twice a day. EMF is 3 twice a day. So 2 different things. The general rule of thumb is for a healthy person, for maintenance, prophylaxis, you just take what I call 1x. So just take the standard dose. That's the 1x. So that would be just standard, whatever is being done. If a person has a chronic problem, I recommend you go 2x. So in other words, double it. If it's not that bad of a problem, they're just a little bit uncomfortable, they can go just 1x plus, which means just add an extra dose. So instead of just taking it morning and evening, go ahead and take it at lunchtime also. So take an extra dose, so 1x plus. If there's a chronic or degenerative problem, go to 2x. If it's more serious, go to 2x plus. Okay, so 2x would be doubling it. 2x plus would be add the extra dose in the middle of the day. So 3 times instead of twice. So doubling it twice, 2x plus, take it a 3rd time. That's if a person has a more serious problem, and you can just graduate this up. You know, you go with whatever works. Generally speaking, if someone has diabetes, I recommend they go straight to, at the very least, go to 2x plus. Usually is what I recommend for a diabetic. Just go straight to 2x plus. They can always reduce it and back down. But when it's a life or death issue, then it's 3x plus, just 3x plus. So in other words, that would be on the original 6 capsules 3 times a day. On the EMF, that would be 9 capsules 3 times a day. That's life or death. And that's been working pretty good. So we'll send that out to Freddie. We'll write that up and send it out, and so that you have access to it. Okay.
Thank you. I do. You did send that to me before, but I had a couple of people on here that was asking, and I guess I failed to send it to them, but I just wanted to ask again.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for raising it. Melanie has a question.
Okay, so I recall on maybe one of the videos before that Dr. Prasad, that if you said that, mentioned that if you were going to have a procedure, that maybe you should the procedure. So I just wanted some clarification about that.
Okay, now back up and say that again. If you're going to have a procedure, to do what?
That you would like not stop taking Micro Daily for a period of time. So I just wanted some clarification about that, if that was possible.
Prior to the procedure?
Yes, prior to the procedure, yes.
I can't speak for him and what he might have thought with that, and what his what the rationale would be. I guess it depends on the procedure. What we have found, what has been reported back to us from individuals, you know, in the field, from my office, that persons have taken Micro Daily right up to the time that a doctor says don't eat anything within 24 hours. You know, if you're going in for surgery, we'll stop there. So it's considered food. So if they say don't eat any food because you're going to have surgery the next morning, then that would be a good idea. But I would take as much as I could right up to that point.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
the moment that you're able to put some food in your stomach, add that to it.
Right. Okay.
It's important to remember that there are water soluble ingredients and there are fat soluble ingredients in here, like the vitamin A. So that means you need to have some fats in your stomach in order for everything to break down, to fully absorb everything. So that's why Dr. Prasad recommends eating it with food.
Mhm.
So that's the reason why. So in fact, there's like 2 or 3, I think, that vitamin E and one other that I believe are fat soluble. They don't break down in water. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. I hope that helps you.
It does.
And we got one more here, Sharon.
Yes, what is basically helpful or the combination for gout? You know, how sometimes people have crystallizing in the bottom of their feet, like crunch, crunch, and pain from gout. What's the combination for helping with that?
I've not seen anybody get results with less than 2x. Personally, I've never seen anyone that had it just get good results with just the standard 1x dose. So double it at least, and maybe even 2x plus. So doubling it with 1 extra dose may be what's necessary. It's very painful, and the easiest way to get rid of it is to stop drinking wines. But for those, even with those who don't drink any wine, that buildup in the uric acid can still be a problem. But I would go 2x at least for a while until the pain goes away. But don't just drop away from the 2x or 2x plus. Gradually go back to a normal level. Okay.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Ms. Slaughter, you have another question?
Yes, will Michael Daly help balance hormones?
Will Micro Daily help to balance hormones? That's a complicated answer because it's not straightforward. It's not designed for balancing hormones, but what would happen over time if a person is consistent with it, the reason why hormones go out of balance is because of, the body starts to degrade. And there's organs in the body that don't produce what they're supposed to produce. You take, for example, someone who's diabetic. Now, about 6 or 7 years ago, there was a study done in San Francisco that said that diabetes medicine causes diabetes. Now, when you look at it a little bit closer, the diabetes medicine is basically doing damage to the pancreas. Now, someone may say to themselves, well, my pancreas isn't working anyway. Well, that's not true. Insulin is not the only thing that the pancreas does. There's hundreds of other enzymes that's involved in the pancreas function. So let's say a person, is taking Micro Daily and their body starts to function better, and then their doctor starts to reduce the amount of diabetes medicine they're on. Now there's less damage to the pancreas. And if the pancreas is working better, what other organs that's responsible for producing other enzymes and hormones in the body begin to work better? You follow me? So the lower the levels of toxicity in the body, then the more efficient the body can operate. So, but in some cases, people will need a little bit of extra help while the body's reconciling itself. So there's things like bioidentical hormone replacement that works. Some have gotten results with what's that, YAM? That also has helped, and something called SAMI has also been very helpful. I haven't personally, I haven't seen anyone, or no one has come forward and said that they've been able to resolve the whole hot flash issue yet. And probably if I was getting hot flashes, I would have been all over it by now. But
I had a concussion a year ago, and I was told that that's what caused my hormone imbalance. And I seen in the Dr. Prasad's book that he had a book that said something about concussions.
ma'am.
So that's why I was wondering if the books was in the library so I could run and see it to read on it to see.
See, and that's a perfect example right there. See, a traumatic brain injury, that's massive amounts of oxidative stress.
Mhm.
So if that cause is ameliorated, then other parts of the body should be able to reconcile better. The lower you have the inflammatory cytokines in the body, the more efficient the body is going to operate. So if the body's not out of control trying to solve something, then the more efficient the body can run. It's almost like a boat going through water, right? If there's a bunch of barnacles on the hull on the bottom of the boat, I don't care how powerful the engine is and how much gas it's got, it's being drugged down. That boat is just not cutting through water smoothly. The same is happening with us. The more toxins and free radicals is in our body, the more inflammation we have in our body, the less efficiently, the lower our level of efficiency that our body operates. So that would be a good thing to pursue. His books are not very expensive, by the way. And someone put it in the chat that you can find some used books. Where is it? Allibris.com. Someone just sent this. So hang on, let me just share this with everyone. That this might be one place to be able to find some used books. Joanna did find me a copy of one of his used books also. I think it was on Amazon or eBay. So search around, but I would highly recommend add this man's books to your library. This dementia one here is only $18. The cancer one on Amazon was only $11 or $12. So you just can't go wrong with that. But I would do that if I was you folks. Just buy one a month. Just get one a month and just build up your library with that man's books. It's worth it.
Thank
Okay,
you.
but thank you for your question, Ms. Slaughter. Okay, so there we have it, folks. We're gonna stop right here. This brings us to our end. We've gone a little bit over time, but a couple extra questions. Hope it was of some value to you. But keep in mind, folks, we strongly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust, because none of these comments have been evaluated by the FDA. Microdaily, Brain Boost, Eye Boost, Collagen Daily, none of the Engage Global products are intended to be viewed as a treatment or a cure for any disease state. I'm not a doctor, don't claim to be one. And please don't do anything I say just because I say it. This has just been for information and educational purposes only. Testimonials are purely anecdotal. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. But you're more than welcome to come back with us. I have my meetings. Other meetings are throughout the week. Dr. Roberts has Lunch and Learn, 12 o'clock every day. There it is. The chat is posted. The link is posted in the chat, so you can just copy those down. But my meetings are Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, 7 p.m., 6 p.m., 5 p.m. in that order. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, 7, 6, 5. Those are the times, and those are our Eastern Standard Times. So you're more than welcome to join me and invite any of your guests. If you feel that someone could have benefited from any of these recordings, look on your screen, and wherever you see where it says live on your screen and you see YouTube, click on that. When you click on that, you'll see three options, well, maybe two options on your end: view stream on YouTube or copy streaming link. If you see copy streaming link, you just click on copy. Now you've got the link, and you can share that link with anyone, and they'll get the entire recording of this program. If you feel like anyone could have benefited from this, feel free to just share it with them. Okay, but that's the end of our discussion for tonight, and we will see you guys on Thursday evening. Thank you very much for joining us. Good night,
Thank you,
everybody.
Jonathan. Great meeting.
Let's go.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Awesome sauce.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Appreciate
Thank
having
you.
you
Good
night,
guys.
everybody.
So glad you
Good
guys
night.
Thank you very much for joining us. See you on Thursday.
Let's go.
Yeah, we got to bottle that up. That's just wonderful, Daryl. Always just right. Always just right. All right. See you guys.